The most important thing why the community is supposed to organize themselves and mobilize themselves is that when there is a challenge, it's an opportunity to raise their voices at the community when there is something which is going on and maybe it was not satisfied the community members. It's so important to organize and mobilize themselves so that they can get their rights as community members, and also to make sure that they're benefiting from funds that are going to be raised by the company or the quarry that is going to do the activity.
In communities where mining is taking place, in Kilifi, for example, Kokotoni, Rabai, Gongoni, we have a lot of environmental issues. Like we have areas where rivers were diverted into industries to cool down their machines. And when this water comes from those industries, it is not well disposed. It is taken back to river sources, making their river sources polluted, which goes directly affecting the health situations of the people. Social-wise, you find that even some community members have gotten away from their ancestral land because they can no longer stay there due to noise pollution, air pollution, and the usual disruptions from the noise that is coming from the industries. So you find that it is breaking that bond, the African bond of a community that is staying together.
Kokotoni hapa tunadhuriwa na vumbi ambalo linatoka kwa hizo quarries, hizo emissions zao wanazotoa. Wanapiga baruti nzito bado, na hiyo ilikuwa si wafanye namna hiyo, lakini hawa bado wanaendelea kupiga baruti nzito, na hiyo basi inaathiri kwa sababu baruti ni ya juu, sauti ni ya juu, na vumbi pia nayo bado hawajafanya chochote kuhakikisha kwamba hatutapata madhara kutokana na mambo na hizo kazi zao. Bado tunaendelea kupata madhara, watu wanakohoa, watu wanapata madhara, kina mama wajawazito, watu wanapata mapresha kwa sababu ya hizo baruti zao wanazozipiga kwa hali ya juu.
Before the 1 million tree came, we had different challenges whereby the community members are not able to identify their injustice issues. Like for instance, the 1% issue, which is under Mining Act. And finally, last year we managed to conduct Baraza. And finally, we get a CDA committee.
Our project was basing on creation of a film that is supposed to showcase what is happening in Kilifi and specifically Kokotoni, where mining is taking place, and we have a lot of environmental, health issues, and also economic issues that are affecting the community. So the project was supposed to outline what is happening, or rather bringing out the voices of the community that is rarely brought out in mainstream media.
The community members have the power because they're the ones who have been affected by the quarries. Like for instance, in Kokotoni, most of the people, they have not accessed good quality education. And this is because of lack of financial status.
The CDA, which in full stands for Community Development Agreement, if I may break it down, it is an agreement that touches the community, the government agencies, and the industry that is doing the mining. So the same thing happens. You're having a community which is having natural resources that sits under their feet, and then you're having this person who is coming to mine that. So for you to be able to be safe and also to benefit from that, then you need a written agreement that is going to bond between the community and the industry. That agreement, we have people who sit and look after it or follow it. That is what we call the Community Development Agreement Committee.
Committee inasimama kama daraja kati ya investors na wananchi.
So you have situations where people come together, elections are held, and they feel that the elections was not fair, free and fair elections. So some even go to court. That is the situation that you are having in Kamberibe, where the formation of the CDA committee had been postponed more than twice, where people are saying these are not the correct people we feel they are supposed to represent us. And others were feeling this is a job that I'm supposed to go and get paid. So when we found this had taken place for some time, we had a baraza at the chief's office in Kamberibe, where we took a couple of time with the team that I was working with to just explain to them that a CDA is not an employment opportunity, but it is a committee that is going to help you to get your rightful share from the industry profits. And from that, we were able to hold elections, making the CDA in Kamberibe to be formed and that to be later on to be gazetted.
Naona kulikuwa kuna muhimu kabisa wa hii committee iweko ili mambo fulani ambayo yalikuwa hayafanyiki wakati wa nyuma yaweze kufanyika sasa. Kwa hivyo kulikuwa kuna umuhimu mkubwa sana wa kuunda hizi kamati. Sasa tumeona kwamba kuna mafanikio ambayo tumeanza kuyapata, kama vile tunapata bursaries, pia hata misaada. Tukiomba misaada pale kwa wa investors, tunataka watusaidie na mali fulani, kama vile mali zinazotoka kwa kazi zao tunapata kwa rahisi.
Even though we celebrate the formation of the CDA committee, we have learned that they are not doing the work that they are supposed to do to optimum. And the main challenge is lack of information. This lack of information can only be solved if we have parties like the civil society coming together and teaching them what are the do's and don'ts. Because we have had situations where the CDS are formed and even the specific officers who are in charge don't have that specific information they are supposed to be taught. So it requires a third party to bring all the formed CDS together and teach them what their role is so that they can work to the optimum level.